Caritamrita introduction. To learn how Krishna enjoys pleasure, we must study the first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then we should study the 10th canto, in which Krishna's pleasure potency is displayed in his pastimes with Radharani and the damsels of Vraj. So yesterday we were speaking how Srimati Radharani is Krishna's internal potency. She's his pleasure-giving potency. She's not some other entity. She's his energy. And to understand this, we need to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam right from the first canto. We shouldn't just directly jump to the Vrindavan pastimes of Radha and Krishna. We should try study all the cantos systematically, first, second, third. Like Maharaj Parikshit, he was a pure devotee of the Lord. When he's sitting and asking Sukadev Goswami the questions, he could have very well asked Sukadev Goswami directly about the 10th canto, about the Krishna's personal pastimes in Vrindavan. But Maharaj Parikshit is setting an example for us that we need to systematically hear the pastimes of Krishna. And so he starts right from the beginning of creation for our benefit. So, unfortunately, unintelligent people turn at once to the sports of Krishna in the Dashama Skanda, the 10th canto, Krishna's embracing Radharani, or his dancing with the cowherd girls in the Rasa dance, are generally not understood by ordinary men because they consider these pastimes in the light of mundane lust. They foolishly think that Krishna is like themselves and that he embraces the gopis just as an ordinary man embraces a young girl. Some people thus become interested in Krishna because they think that his religion allows indulgence in sex. This is not Krishna Bhakti, love of Krishna, but Prakrita Sahajya, materialistic lust. So we shouldn't just jump directly to the 10th canto. Many people, they make discourses, they hold the discussions on Bhagavatam specifically dealing with the 10th canto, but because they do not understand Krishna, who is Krishna actually, who is Srimati Radharani actually, they themselves are misguided and they think Krishna is just an ordinary man and Radharani and the gopis are just ordinary girls and that their loving affairs are just like material lust, indulgence in sex. They create a havoc in their lives and they create havoc in the lives of their followers. And they are called Prakrita Sahajya. So we should be careful. Because this is not bhakti, this is not Krishna bhakti. To avoid such errors, we should understand what Radha Krishna actually is. Radha and Krishna display their pastimes through Krishna's internal energy. The pleasure potency of Krishna's internal energy is a most difficult subject matter. And unless one understands what Krishna is, one cannot understand it. So if we don't understand that Krishna has so many energies, that how supreme he is, if we don't accept he has these energies and that we are his marginal energy, this material world is his external energy, the spiritual, he has a spiritual internal potency. If we don't understand Krishna, we won't be able to understand Radharani. So the pleasure potency of Krishna's internal energy is most difficult subject matter. And unless one understands what Krishna is, one cannot understand it. Krishna does not take any pleasure in this material world, but he has a pleasure potency. Because we are part and parcel of Krishna, the pleasure potency is within us also. But we are trying to exhibit that pleasure potency in matter. So Krishna doesn't find any pleasure in this matter, in the material world. He knows what is what, you know, but because even we have that enjoying spirit. Krishna enjoys only with Radharani, you know, that's it. The highest pleasure that he experiences is with Radharani. So, of course, he enjoys with the Brajbasis, with everyone in the spiritual world, but the highest is with Radharani. So we also have this enjoying spirit, and we are trying to enjoy matter. We are trying to exploit matter. Let me eat this, I'll be happy. Let me hear this, I will be happy. Let me enjoy life to the fullest. Let me go for whatever. Let me go for the best of holidays, I will be happy. So we are trying to seek that pleasure, but we are seeking the pleasure here in the material world. Krishna, however, does not make such a vain attempt, because Krishna knows that there is nothing pleasurable in this material world, that the soul can find pleasure only when we are connected with Krishna. The object of Krishna's pleasure potency is Radharani. Krishna exhibits his potency as Radharani and then engages in loving affairs with her. So Radharani is Krishna's own pleasure potency. He is exhibiting his potency, his pleasure potency is Srimati Radharani. And he's engaging in loving affairs with Radharani. So he's enjoying with his own self, his own internal energy. You know, if we are going to enjoy something which belongs to us, is that wrong? No, right? If we are sitting in our own house and, you know, doing whatever, oh, this is my house, I'm eating my food and I'm happy here. Nobody has the right to say anything to us. Radharani is Krishna's, his own internal energy. In other words, Krishna does not take pleasure in this external energy, but exhibits his internal energy, his pleasure potency as Radharani, and then enjoys with her. Thus, Krishna manifests himself as Radharani in order to enjoy his internal potency. So Radha and Krishna, they are originally one, but they have separated since time immemorial for the sake of enjoying loving pastimes. Thus Krishna manifests himself as Radharani. She is his pleasure potency, and he's separating that potency, and she's manifesting as Radharani, and he's enjoying with his own internal potency. Of the many extensions, expansions, and incarnations of the Lord, this pleasure potency is the foremost and chief. So, in Ras, Srimati Radharani is higher than Krishna. So it is not that Radharani is separate from Krishna. Radharani is also Krishna, for there is no difference between the energy and the energetic. Without energy, there is no meaning to the energetic. And without the energetic, there is no energy. As we can see, the sun and the sunshine. If there is no sunshine, what is the meaning of the sun? You know? Then the sun has no purpose. It's because it has sunshine, then okay, the sun is there. So without energy, there is no meaning to the energetic. And without the energetic, there is no energy. When there is no sun, there is no sunshine. Similarly, without Radha, there is no meaning to Krishna. And without Krishna, there is no meaning to Radha. Because of this, the Vaishnava philosophy first of all pays obeisances to and worships the internal pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the Lord and his potency are always referred to as Radha Krishna. Similarly, those who worship Narayan first of all utter the name of Lakshmi as Lakshmi Narayan. Similarly, those who worship Lord Rama first of all utter the name of Sita. In any case, Sita Ram, Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan, the potency always comes first. So Srimati Radharani, she's the supreme power. And Lord Krishna, he's the supreme powerful. She is his power. Is that okay? Any questions, comments?
No, all okay.
So Prabhupada is really trying to make us understand that what is the position of Srimati Radharani. Radha and Krishna are one, and when Krishna desires to enjoy pleasure, he manifests himself as Radharani. Because Krishna wants to enjoy. And who can give him more enjoyment than himself? Because he's supreme. Who else has that much capacity to be able to give him that pleasure? He's the supreme in everything. He says, I'm among the beasts, I'm the lion, amongst the bodies of water, I'm the ocean, amongst the immovable, I'm the Mount Meru, amongst the mountains, I'm Himalaya. So he's the best. Now, who can give the best enjoyment to that degree, fully satisfy him? It's only himself who can give that to him. And so he manifests himself as Radharani. The spiritual exchange of love between Radha and Krishna is the actual display of Krishna's internal pleasure potency. Although we speak of when Krishna desires, just when he did desire, we cannot say. We only speak in this way because in conditioned life, we take it that everything has a beginning. However, in spiritual life, everything is absolute. And so there is neither beginning nor end. Here in the material world, we all are limited. We all are limited. And so we always say there is a birth date and there is an expiry date. There's manufacture date and expiry date. So that's why we will ask, when did Krishna desire? But in the spiritual realm, everything eternal, everything is eternal. Everything always exists and will continue to exist. Yet, in order to understand that Radha and Krishna are one and that they also become divided, the question when automatically comes to mind. When Krishna desired to enjoy his pleasure potency, he manifested himself in the separate form of Radharani. And when he wanted to understand himself through the agency of Radha, he united with Radharani. And that unification is called Lord Chaitanya. This is all explained by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj in the 5th verse of the Caitanya Caritamrita. So Krishna divided. He manifested himself as Radharani when he wanted to enjoy pastimes, and when he wanted to understand himself as how Radharani is understanding him, he combined again with Radharani and appeared as Lord Chaitanya. And Prabhupada is saying that Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is explaining all this in the 5th verse. So we are still on the introduction here. So shall we stop here for today? Any questions, comments, any clarifications? If no, then we stop here. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.